And well deserved their win that day, as Laurie McMenemy was one of the first to admit. And there's Ron Futcher, the number 9, an identical twin brother, Paul, who wears the number 6. I must say, it'll be a nightmare for commentators, but then my mind is eased by the fact that Barnsley players themselves say that they can hardly tell them apart, and that manager Bobby Collins often gets them wrong. Larry May, big central defender they bought from Leicester City. Had a fine game at Southampton. And there's the other Futcher, Paul Futcher. And we're just about ready to start now. Liverpool then get us away in an all-yellow strip, attacking the goal to our right. With Barnsley in red shirts and white shorts. That was Wayne Goodison getting the ball into touch. And the referee Colin Downey from Hounslow in Middlesex. The first time he's been to Oakwell. Well, this is Stephen Agnew, the man who made such an impression at Southampton and scored that first goal. In goes Futcher. It's a glowering day here, really, in South Yorkshire. With, as Jim said, a lot of rain since about 10 o'clock this morning. A slippy pitch, and really, Ron Atkinson, all the ingredients for an exciting cup tie.
Yes, very much so. When you say a slippy pitch, Brian, I think the pitch is in perfect condition.
An excellent pitch, yes.
Yes, it will certainly suit Liverpool's passing style. And then when Jimmy was on about the Barnsley side, you know, they've got plenty of players that played at the top level, so, you know, they've got nothing to lose. So, as you say, I think there will be a cracking game in prospect.
So Joyce, the right back, cleared by Hansen. And Paul Futcher will get it back to his goalkeeper, Clive Baker. Who had some 7 years at Norwich. He was a Norfolk boy, this goalkeeper. He's kept out of the side by Kevin Keelan and then by Chris Woods. Ron Futcher hoping to get underneath this one. Quinn Thomas also in. Back by Gordon Owen. Now here's MacDonald, the new power in midfield for Liverpool. Dalglish. Passion for the game up here, and a tremendous atmosphere inside Oakwell. It's Joe Joyce, the right back, with the throw. Agnew finding Larry May. This is Wayne Goodison. He's normally a central defender, but Bobby Collins says he's quick and he's determined, and that's why he's in left back today. A free kick then to Barnsley. The foul by Lawrenson on Ron Futcher. To be taken by number 4, Billy Ronson. Goodison towards Futcher, and Grobbelaar getting it, lose it! Off the post, but the whistle had gone. But early warning there for Liverpool. The challenge by Quinn Thomas judged to be unfair after Goodison had played a long ball in there. Futcher's challenge on the keeper. Quinn Thomas getting their header in against the post, but the whistle had already gone. May versus Dalglish. Larry Way winning it comfortably. Gordon Owen getting it back to Joyce. And an offside against Agnew, quite clear.
Well, Ron Futcher's never been short of aggression, and I think that was a typical piece of his play there. He's probably shaking up Grobbelaar. I know Bruce likes to come for those crosses, but Bruce won't be happy with his first touch. And he may have considered himself maybe a little bit fortunate to get away with that.
It's Hansen. Now Phil Neal. And a goal kick to Barnsley. We've not lost here at Oakwell since September the 1st. Third game of the season. In fact, they lost their first 3 games of the season, put them under a bit of pressure, but they've had a very good run since then. 11th in the second division now. There's Clive Baker. Agnew underneath this one, beating Lawrenson in the air. Neal getting it away. Paul Futcher. Rush trying to make life difficult. Just flicking that on. Campbell up well, but Tom Lawrenson got the better of Agnew. Goodison, Thomas. Well, the ball was gathering pace on this wet turf then, running away from Phil Neal, but free kick given. Plays that towards John Wark on the far side. Thomas, MacDonald getting it to Kennedy. May getting it away. Campbell trying but failing. Nicol playing it to MacDonald. Nice little pattern set up here by Liverpool. And in the end, Barnsley happy to get that away with Harry May's header to Gordon Owen. Joyce. Dalglish get on the end of that? No, the linesman's flagging in any case. It'll be a free kick to Barnsley.
Brian, Barnsley are going to find it a little bit of a problem. They've only got 3 basic midfield players, Campbell, Ronson and Thomas, and that's enabling Liverpool to use MacDonald as a spare player, just in front of the back 2. And he's just picking up all the little loose ends at the moment and setting things in motion. It also allows Wark to go on those free runs he goes so well on.
Throw given to Liverpool after some deliberation by the linesman. In fact, I think he was right, it just flicked off a Barnsley player. Free kick to Liverpool. Alan Kennedy with it. Whelan dispossessed. Kennedy again. Going round Owen, but not round Joyce. Ronson. Futcher. To Barnsley. Wet and cold here in Barnsley, and Ian Rush was saying just before the game, identical conditions to the ones they had in Vienna on Wednesday when they drew 1-1 in the European Cup. Now this might be interesting for Barnsley just outside the Liverpool penalty area. They have a little system, Barnsley, where they put 2 men in front of the ball and rely upon Gordon Owen, who strikes a tremendous ball. Billy Ronson and Winston Campbell will stand. We'll see them just in front of that ball. As they rightly say, it only gives the goalkeeper a chance of a sight of it at the very last moment. There they are, then the 2 Barnsley players lined up in front of it. Gordon Owen striking it just over the top. It's a good try, that, Ron.
Yeah, neat little free kick. Always feel in that situation, though, the guy that's hitting the ball has got to be on target. You've got chances of rebounds, you've got chances of a parry off the keeper. And I feel sure the lad probably feels he should have done better. Hit it with plenty of power, though.
And who scored, in fact, the penalty, Gordon Owen, the second goal at Southampton. Excellent striker of a dead ball. Grobbelaar then with the goal kick for Liverpool. Goodison on this one. I suppose that's an appropriate surname for a cup tie involving the opponent's Liverpool. It's a throw to Barnsley. It's a competition they haven't won since way back in 1912 when they beat West Brom by 1-0 after extra time. Liverpool go back 11 years since their last win in this particular competition. Goodison then, 20 years old, with the throw for Barnsley. This is Bryn Thomas, had a good spell with Leeds United. Agnew. Picking up Campbell now. This might be interesting because he can fly down that wing, but not on this occasion. Didn't really have enough time on that MacDonald. Nearly fell for Thomas. Thomas, who had that spell with Leeds United, played 82 times for them, in fact. Welsh under 21. Goodison, see Seems to be getting a lot of work in these early stages. If you just joined us, coming up to 10 minutes of this 6th round FA Cup tie. And Barnsley 0, Liverpool 0. Owen. Yes, he showed too much of that to Kennedy. But Joyce again came in with a good challenge. Owen again. Ronson. Hansen. Nerve held. There's Neal. May again. Campbell. Whelan to Alan Kennedy. Dalglish. Joyce. Looked like a handball. Well, there must have been a shove in the back before the handball by Ron Futcher, because Barnsley get another free kick. Brother Paul comes up to take the kick. Shot to Owen. Goal kick. Oh, they're getting in a few shots wrong.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad controlled effort, wasn't it? I don't think Bruce was quite as happy with that as he may have appeared to be. They're playing some neat controlled football at Barnsley. Liverpool are setting off with their familiar pattern of trying to kill the game, slow the game down with their passing qualities and kill the crowd off. Barnsley, to the credit, they're prepared to push the ball around themselves. I think they're going to have to ask the fullbacks to do an awful lot of overlapping later in the later stages of the game. They're the players that are going to get the most room, particularly the right fullback.
Baker with the clearance then for Barnsley. Hansen beating Agnew. Dalglish. Ronson in quickly for Barnsley. Goodison. A long clearance. The chase is on. Lawrenson under pressure from Ron Futcher, but a free kick again. Big black dog on the field. About to tackle Alan Kennedy. MacDonald. Well, the old boy's still on the field there, thoroughly enjoying himself, but how anybody in their right senses can bring a dog like that onto a cup tie occasion like this, I don't know. Go on over the fence and get away with it. That's it. Well, dog lovers everywhere will hope that he's well looked after. I'm sure he is. Shoving the back on Futcher, but Lawrenson versus Agnew. Joyce. Owen. Ron Futcher. Another free kick. You shouldn't give away too many free kicks in this sort of area with a dead ball kicker like Gordon Owen around. Three in the Liverpool wall. Owen with the kick, hitting it straight to the wall, hitting it back again and over the top. Okay. Well, Barnsley got here with home ties against Reading and Brighton. Not much to spare there. And a victory last Monday at Southampton after they'd gone a goal down with a Steve Moran goal. And Liverpool, of course, having beaten Villa comfortably 3-0, and then in our televised game Spurs 1-0, and then a great battle at York 1-1, and then finishing York off in grand style at Anfield. Well, Wark's after this one. Rush is there too. Neal trying to get it in for Wark, succeeds. The Black Dog's back again, and the shot by MacDonald is over the top. Oh, he's having a good run. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But I would have thought, once having got him back over there, it's a bit silly to... That's right, the firm arm of the law. It's a bit silly that he should have been allowed back again. I think there are a couple of coppers now have got him, and he'll not be back again. Agnew after this, but I think Hansen's favourite. Finding Lawrenson. Whelan. May pursued by Rush. And Liverpool's throw. Rush again. Dalglish dinking it in towards Wark. Goodison winning a valuable ball there and fisted away well by Baker. Not all that far though, but he's okay now.
I think you'll probably find, Brian, Goodison, one of the reasons he may have been played is every time Wark comes onto the attack, it looks like it's his responsibility to pick him up when he comes into the front line. I was wondering how they're going to try and combat this with only 3 midfield players, but it looks as if he may have been detailed to sort of link up on Wark.
Kennedy. Hansen. Here's Joyce. Hard at the linesman, he did the signal, and the Liverpool player had his back to the referee. I think there may have been an element of guesswork about that decision, but it gives Barnsley a free kick, and played now for Paul Futcher. Wanting Goodison to get in, and it's still in play, is it? No, the flag is up on the far side. It's a goal kick to Liverpool.
It's a really big game for somebody like Paul Futcher, isn't it? I mean, he once had a very, very promising career, and England's sort of future was forecast for him. He's never quite fulfilled that. And it'd be a great opportunity for him to show his skills off in a game like this.
Away. Goodison away. Ronson getting it back to Fagan. I think the same could be said for Larry May. Bobby Collins, was the Barnsley manager, was saying yesterday how underrated he is. He got him from Leicester City, and he's playing superbly well. In fact, in Bobby's whimsical way, he said he's playing so well, I thought he was playing to get away. There's Paul Futcher getting it back again to his goalkeeper. Owen's header, wrong Futcher, holding off Hansen, finding Owen. This is Stephen Agnew, 19 years old, pointing up a little more than he could chew there against Hansen. MacDonald. Nice controlled header by Joyce to Ronson. Alan Kennedy in for Dalglish. The Dalglish turn was there for us to see, and now Phil Neal. Dalglish again. Liverpool throw. Neal in for MacDonald, now for Rush, and now for Kevin MacDonald. And the flag again was up for an offside against Liverpool. In fact, met in the Milk Cup 3 years ago in a quarter-final, and Barnsley on a foggy night did tremendously well to get a goalless draw at Anfield, and Liverpool came back here and won 3-1. Something like 7 of that Liverpool side are here again in action today. Not such a great turnaround of players at Anfield, of course. Continuity is the key. here's Owen again for Barnsley. Joyce. Agnew. And a corner. Barnsley's first. To be taken by Owen. Paul Futcher at the near post, flicked in for him to flick on, but it didn't quite work out that way. Phil Neal was there. And Thomas doing well. Now can Owen turn it back in once more? The cross is in there, and it's another corner.
Well, Barnsley are playing with a tremendous amount of composure. Normally against a side like Liverpool, you talk about working and hustling, particularly if you're the underdogs, but they're trying to play it around as if they're a first division side themselves, and they're doing it very, very well at the moment.
Well, here comes another corner for them. Again, Owen. Playing again towards the near post. Thomas. Oh, it nearly came for them. And Goodison with a shot just over. Well, they're causing one or two little flutters in that Liverpool defence. And with this sort of ricochet coming up here on, it could have gone anywhere, really, after Gwyn Thomas had turned it back in.
Yeah, this is a good little situation for the lad Goodison. Possibly if that had been the lad Owen, you know, he might have put them in the lead there.
It was slightly delayed, coming back from the Liverpool fans behind Bruce Grobbelaar's goal. And they're here in their thousands. Good jump by Campbell. Phil Neal for Liverpool, still 0-0 with just over 20 minutes gone if you've just joined us. Barnsley 0, Liverpool 0. Rush. MacDonald. Lawrenson. Hansen. Kennedy. Played in for Wark, who had a bit of space. Larry May filling it though. Good work by Whelan. Kennedy, MacDonald. Joyce's interception. Lawrenson again, not a good one. Agnew was in. Futcher's in there too. As Barnsley try to get possession back again, they lose it now to Dalglish. Now MacDonald. All a bit helter-skelter in there at the moment as Neal looks for and finds Dalglish. Halfway through the first half, 0-0. Neal. Paul Futcher leaving it for brother Ron. And now Owen. Paul Futcher's gone offside. They might need to get back and do some defending. Goodison. And a foul there by Nicol on Goodison as he was about to play that ball. Gives Barnsley another free kick. With the free kick, floated towards Futcher. Joyce coming in. Kennedy, not a very good clearance. Can Campbell get there? No. Paul Futcher. Liverpool's throw. Ronson. Kennedy's header. Futcher. Dalglish. It's Neal. Nicol. Goodison will get there. Nicol is a determined young man. And a goal kick. Well, Liverpool always knew that this was going to be a tricky one. But the thing about them is their attitude is always right for these sort of games. But Barnsley doing well at the moment, Lawrenson.
Yeah, they're playing very controlled. I just wonder if they could throw a little bit more fire at Liverpool, a little bit more passion and a little bit more drive in the game, whether that might upset Liverpool a little bit more and get the crowd lifted.
Well, here's Thomas trying to do just that. Joyce backing him up from behind.
See, Brian, I think they've played some very, very controlled football, but I think the crowd are now watching it as opposed to supporting it. You know, I think they've got the advantage of the biggest crowd for ages, and I think they need to try and lift the crowd a little bit to get right behind them.
That's a good point. MacDonald. Well, here Liverpool with Whelan, now with Dalglish, and suddenly a chance opens up for them as Nicol comes through. And, well, the Liverpool fans were looking for a penalty. Steve Nicol certainly was looking for one. And I must say, at first glance, they appeared to have a case, but Colin Downey, the referee, turned away, and Barnsley breathe again. Ron?
I didn't think so at the time, funnily enough. I thought it looks as if he was going to chop him and then just didn't quite make...
At the other end, Futcher trying to come through, claiming a handball, again turned down.
I'm not quite sure about that, having looked at it again, Brian.
You think it may have been?
It may possibly have been. The only thing against it was Nicol appeared to have overrun the ball into the keeper's hands.
Futcher's header. Joyce. On Futcher, will it fall for Barnsley? No, it may. No, it's a free kick.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the dangers if Barnsley get into a control game with Liverpool. Liverpool are better than them at it. I mean, they're the masters of just getting in a game where breaking it up and passing the ball about.
So you're asking for what? Controlled passion?
I think people like Futcher, who's got a fair amount of fire, little Billy Ronson in midfield, and Thomas, have got to start trying to get the tempo of the game up a little bit.
Nicol. Played for Rush, played in quickly for Dalglish, tried to get Rush going again, but Ronson picking it up for Barnsley. Nice accurate header there by Futcher for Agnew. Can Futcher get it back again? No, because Lawrenson was there. Back it goes to Bruce Grobbelaar. MacDonald coming up to the half hour, 0-0. Dalglish.
Brian, I've not really had a good look at MacDonald since he got into the first team this season, but I must confess I think at the moment he's having an outstanding game for Liverpool. He's got all the space in the world, he's not complicating it, he's playing 1 and 2 touch football, some delightful passing, and that's enabling Wark, although he hasn't made it pay yet, enabling Wark to go off on those dangerous runs of his.
Here's Quinn Thomas for Barnsley. Owen, Joyce. Oh, and it leaves Thomas in the clear, but the linesman was happy for it to go. Sadly for Barnsley, the referee had spotted something and it's a free kick. Lawrenson with some grey flecks in his hair at the moment. I can't believe that that's been caused by Warry playing in a defence as good as Liverpool's. Ball out of play, and Barnsley's throw. Joe Joyce. Balls for Dalglish, for Whelan, and MacDonald. Oh, and away goes Campbell now. He can fly. Futcher's up, Agnew's up, Owen's arriving, calls for a good cross, it's got a good low one, which fortunately for Liverpool, cannons off Phil Neal. Wark's lovely touch, Played well there with Rush, and here's Ian Rush on the go now, and Ronson getting back and then losing it. Joyce retrieving it for Barnsley. Kennedy, and the ball out of play for a Liverpool throw.
Some brilliant link-up play there, wasn't it, between Wark and Rush. In fact, I think Wark got a little bit balked on his run there, otherwise he may have made the most of Rush's final pass.
Foul there by Paul Futcher. Free kick to Liverpool. Kennedy with the free kick. Very positive play there by Joyce, but it's Liverpool's throw. It really didn't give Ronson much of a chance. Futcher getting it away, now Billy Ronson. Such a little worker. But again he's got caught in possession by Nicol that time. It's Whelan trying something from long range. Lawrenson, Joyce, Owen, Gordon Owen. I think he's the only Barnsley lad in the home side, as a matter of fact. Jump again there by Lawrenson, and it'll be Owen who takes the corner. He's had to come a long way as Gordon Owen to play for his local team. He had a spell with Sheffield Wednesday, and they bought him in fact from Cardiff City. He was their top scorer last season. And here he is with the corner for Barnsley. Floated again towards the near post. Grobbelaar lost it. Ronson going in, and Rush. There's Rush at his most effective, not just a goal scorer, but doing some good hustling coming back then. But Barnsley again in possession, stopped that time by Lawrenson. Here's Rush again, leaving it for Whelan. As Liverpool comes streaming forward with Neal to Nicol. And Goodison forced to concede the corner. And with 32 minutes gone and the score 0-0, Liverpool's first corner of the cup tie. Gordon Owen at the near post. Goalkeeper Clive Baker we saw. Neal crossing it in, and Paul Futcher putting it out of the ground almost. Behind for another Liverpool corner. Again it's Steve Nicol with it. Hitting lower this time, and Agnew getting it away, but no red shirts are up. Hansen trying to get Nicol in behind the defenders. It'll be a throw to Barnsley. Ronson again, off Phil Neal for the Barnsley throw. Goodison to Winston Campbell, nice bit of skill. Futcher, May. Foul by Wark going into May. towards Gwyn Thomas. Kennedy. Jump by Joyce. Liverpool's throw. 10 minutes to half time. Still 0-0. Futcher. Now MacDonald. Lifting it over Campbell for Nicol. MacDonald. Encouraging Nicol to make one of those runs again. The cost him quite comfortable one, really. It looked for Larry May, but in the end, a corner conceded.
Yes, Brian, you just get the impression now that Liverpool are starting to take control of the game. They push the ball about. They've had little moments of flutters in their own box, but now they seem to be in more controlled possession than Barnsley.
And Dalglish with the corner. Put in short. Ronson with a chance of getting it away. Only Ron Futcher up. Ronson beaten in that challenge by Kennedy. But here's Campbell. Lawrenson cutting it out. That easily cut out that time by Joyce. Here's Gordon Owen. Ronson dragging furiously. Whether that means a free kick to Barnsley or a throw, it's a free kick. Played in for Gwyn Thomas. For a moment it looked as though they'd caught Liverpool snoozing, but his control wasn't quite right, and in any event it's come as another free kick to the home team for the foul by Ronnie Whelan. So Owen will take it. Ronson, what will he do? He'll look for Gordon Owen again. If he can reach him, it would have been fine, but Owen's got it back. Austin once more towards Futcher, and now for Larry May. He was asking a bit much for him to keep the ball down from that sort of angle. So Grobbelaar with the goal kick. MacDonald. Now Neal. MacDonald. Good play here by Liverpool, but a very good challenge by Joyce. And here's Owen. Well, he's got round Kennedy. MacDonald's barring his way. Here's Agnew. Quite easily beaten though by the challenge of Mark Lawrenson, and Larry May will get it back to Fagan. May again, and again. Ronson. In fact, you were saying before the start to me, Ron, that May and Paul Futcher had a First Division central defender look about them.
Yes, well, they've both played plenty of games in there. May's the big, strong lad that attacks everything.
There's Paul Futcher.
And Futcher's the lad that's got the vision and the ability and control at the back. I'm sure there's a lot worse central defensive pairings in the First Division at the moment. I think they could find themselves at half-time, both sides going in at half-time, you know, Brian, believing they've both done well. Liverpool would be quite happy to go in with the game as it is at the moment, knowing that they've squashed the crowd a little bit and have had a fair amount of control. And Barnsley would be feeling pretty pleased with themselves the way they played against the European champions.
Well, that half-time comes up in about 6 minutes with a score 0-0. Thomas to Ronson. Goodison. Just tucking it there for Campbell.
It's a great pity this lad Campbell hasn't got more opportunities in the last third of the field, because he looks one that could unlock them a little bit. He looks like he's got enough pace and skill if he could just get a little bit of good possession around about the Liverpool box.
getting involved here. Finding Goodison. Free kick to Barnsley. Certainly the confidence in the Barnsley camp couldn't have been higher after that performance at Southampton, and as they were reminding us yesterday, remember what happened when Liverpool played at Brighton last season in the Cup live on television. The big upset there. They were hoping for the same sort of thing today, but Liverpool looking pretty menacing at the moment as Nicol takes it up for them with Neal going outside him, and another corner. Short for Dalglish. Neal. Toss away. It's Lawrenson. Not one of Mark Lawrenson's better balls, and it provides a goal kick for Barnsley. Goodison with the free kick for Barnsley. Hit towards Gordon Owen. Beaten in the air by Kennedy. Wark getting in first. Rush. Setting Kennedy on his way. Not quite sure what that was meant to be, but it provides Barnsley with a throw. Campbell. Agnew versus Hansen, and Hansen winning it. But here's Joyce. Owen keeping it in. Thomas making a run from deep. Lawrenson. Owen. That's a free kick for Barnsley. Now coming 2 minutes from half time. Can Barnsley press home the advantage now? Piling everybody forwards. Paul Futcher's up. Larry May's up. 2 6-footers. Wayne Goodison coming up. Just Billy Ronson and Joe Joyce left behind with the goalkeeper as Owen hits the free kick in. And Liverpool get it away. Wark. Joyce. I think he wanted Goodison to come for that one. And then concedes the free kick. Dalglish. Minute to go to half time. And Paul Futcher for Barnsley. MacDonald. And now Neal. stopped by Ronson, but Liverpool get the throw. Before the half-time whistle goes, Ron, when this is cleared, if it is cleared, we'll have a little first half assessment from you. First, MacDonald. Nicol. And now Ronson. And Goodison getting it away as far as Ron Futcher. But then presents it back to Phil Neal. Ronnie Whelan and Paul Futcher. Owen. And right out of the ground. So it's an opportune moment for your summing up, Ron.
Brian, I think Barnsley have done very, very well, as I've said on a few occasions, in terms of control. I think what they must be talking about now at half-time, to win the game, they've got to try and mount a sustained charge on the Liverpool defence and try and get them under pressure and get plenty of penalty area action. I think Liverpool will be very, very happy the way the game's gone. They've played with plenty of control. The tempo hasn't got very high, which is always going to suit Liverpool. Full sure, as I say, that Bobby Collins will be getting onto his men now. They've done terrific in the first half. Now they've got to go up a couple of gears now to try and win it.
Right, 0-0 at half-time then here at Oakwell. We're going to take a break, and after it we'll see what Ian St John, Jimmy Greaves and Jim Rosenthal have got to say. Barnsley 0, Liverpool 0. Welcome back to Yorkshire then for this 6th round cup tie. Barnsley 0, Liverpool 0. It's a lovely ground, this actually, the one at Barnsley, and here the local team coming out, hoping to improve on 0-0 in the first half and snatch the real headlines for tomorrow. And one splendid little thing actually at Oakwell, they've got a special stand there in the corner for the disabled. It cost some £30,000 to build, some 2.5 years of local effort, masterminded by a local policeman, PC Brian Fairclough, and a local lady, Margaret Dunstan. It holds 52 wheelchairs, and 12 blind fans are in there who are linked to a local hospital broadcast. I think a number of clubs, in fact, do think about their disabled fans, but many, I'm afraid, don't think quite enough. Maybe that'll prick a few consciences. But it's lovely to see that at Barnsley. It's obviously a very well-run little club here. Well, it's Barnsley then who'll get us away at the start of the second half. 0-0. They attack the goal to our right, looking for a place in the FA Cup semi-finals. Whelan making an early break for Liverpool. Ron Atkinson, who's up here with me, interesting to hear both Ian and Jimmy saying that they thought Liverpool weren't playing that well. I think you agree, but basically it's up front where they're not playing well.
Yes, I think what they're probably meaning by that is the fact that Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush, both for them, had quiet games. The game hasn't really come their way at all, but they haven't really made the impact on the game that one normally expects from them.
Rush dispossessed there by Billy Ronson. MacDonald. Now Goodison. There's Larry May going in. And now Lawrenson to Hansen. Hasn't reached as yet any great peaks of excitement, but it's a well-contested cup tie, and so far not a trainer on the field. Cross coming in again, and Rush. Well, someone like him.
This was yours falling back though, Brian, and to be fair, Paul Futcher put him under a lot of pressure. That wasn't as simple a situation as possibly people might think it was.
It's a goal kick to Barnsley. Agnew bringing Thomas nicely into the game, with Joyce going outside him. So here come Barnsley. Ronson hoping to get it going again and again. I don't think Owen will get to it. It's a throw to Liverpool.
One of the problems that Barnsley might have in trying to change their style and put a charge on Liverpool is the fact that this season I think they've based a lot of their play on being really tight at the back. for instance, the right fullback, who I feel could really push himself forward into the space, is just sitting and making sure there's plenty of cover at the back.
So it's a goal kick to Liverpool. Haven't really had an opportunity to say congratulations to you and Manchester United getting to the semi-finals yesterday, Ron.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Will Liverpool or will Barnsley join them? And while we're on the subject of Manchester United, you've got a game on Tuesday, haven't you, at Tottenham? Is Brian Robson going to be fit for that one?
Well, he played in the reserves yesterday. He played at sweeper, did quite well apparently. And we'll see how he is tomorrow, and we'll see whether we can consider him for Tuesday night's game against Tottenham.
Well, here at Barnsley, it's Joe Joyce, Gwyn Thomas, Gordon Owen, Dalglish, not controlling it all that well, and May was in and overhitting it really and not giving his front men any chance at all. And here's Grobbelaar. 6 clean sheets for Bruce in the last 9 games. May getting it back. Hansen winning it. Owen. MacDonald twisting and turning and finding Hansen. It's Wark's clearance towards Rush. Ronson. Hansen's clearance. Free kick to Liverpool. Got to go back. Lawrenson then with the free kick for Liverpool. And now with the throw. It's been a fairly mucky start to the second half one.
Yes, there's been no noticeable sort of increase in tempo. Barnsley, to be fair to Barnsley, I'm saying that they haven't had a chance to put a charge in because they haven't had the ball much in the second half. Liverpool have had it. Haven't done an awful lot with it, to be fair. Just knocked it about from side to side. But really it prevented Barnsley from getting any steam up.
Dalglish. Hansen. Wark trying to get in there. And it might fall in the end for Whelan, but it's a goal kick.
And I would think one of the dangers in a game like this, particularly against Liverpool, where it becomes a little bit of lulls in it, I think there's a danger for, say, the inferior side to lose a little bit of concentration. I mean, Liverpool are masters at sneaking somebody in like Wark or Rush, even when they aren't playing particularly well.
Campbell battling and beating Nicol, finding Ronson, finding Thomas, but the whistle had gone just when it looked as though Barnsley were on the move, and the referee wanting a word with Steve Nicol.
It's a great pity he couldn't have allowed the advantage.
Well, it was,
because they got themselves into quite a good little situation there, Barnsley.
Liverpool's throw. Phil Neal with it. Dalglish. MacDonald. Hansen. MacDonald. It's straight at Thomas. Owen. Joyce. Kane overhit, giving Agnew no chance. And Ronson almost knocking out his own teammate, Winston Campbell there. Liverpool's throw. And again.
Yeah, one of the other dangers, of course, is the two Barnsley midfield players, Ronson and Thomas, have done so much running, chasing the ball when Liverpool have played possession. There's a danger that they could run out of legs as the game gets towards its closing stages.
MacDonald finding Whelan. And now Campbell. Agnew. Now Campbell. Well, that was a fairly ambitious ball to play. And here's Campbell again. Really what the Barnsley fans would like to see is a flying run or two down the wing by Winston Campbell. We've just not seen them so far this afternoon.
Well, to be fair to him, Brian, he's been tucked so far back that he hasn't really had an opportunity to get a run at full now.
The noise that's coming up is from the Liverpool fans as they continue to press forward. It's with Dalglish. And Rush! The mistake by the keeper. A devastating blow then for the second division team. It didn't really appear to be a great deal of danger. And Clive Baker, just having got hold of it, couldn't keep it. As Dalglish crossed it in. Rush is lurking. And Liverpool in the lead.
Well, as you say, that was an absolute tragedy for the keeper, wasn't it? Tidy enough crossing from Dalglish, but to be perfectly honest, he had the thing completely under control, and that's a heck of a blow for Barnsley. And what a gift for Rush.
16 this season for him now. With, as you can see, a little over 10 minutes of the second half gone. Hansen now. And it's going to be so difficult to loosen Liverpool's grip on this cup tie now. Barnsley have to say to themselves, well, we were behind down at the Dell on Monday night, and we came back then. We'll have to see if they can come back again now. It's with Rush again. Finding Nicol. This time it's Whelan on the break, but mistakes from Baker there. So typical of Rush to be there for that sort of...
Yes, I was just thinking there, we talk about a simple goal and everything, but at least the fella's on the spot. He's looking for anything like that may happen. Looking at the game in general now, and I know you may be tempting fate, you can't really say at this moment in time anyway Barnsley can really get back in it, can you?
Well, let's see if you are tempting fate as Owen crosses it in, and Futcher was in there. The ball coming off Phil Neal for the corner. So Barnsley pressing with the corner.
Yeah, Jimmy was saying in the interval that they haven't really made the most of their crosses. I would have thought their best header of the ball is arguably Larry May, and he's not got anywhere near a cross yet. There's been nothing in there for him to feed on.
Well, May is coming up for this corner, and it's aimed long towards him, and he got the header in, but not on target.
Yes, you feel if they get any set situations, then they've got to make the most of it.
Rush, the man who scored the goal, and look at that amazing record of scoring in the Cup. FA Cup appearances 18, FA Cup goals 15.
And isn't there something about every time he scored, Liverpool have never lost a game, Brian?
That's what they say. May. And Hansen getting it back comfortably to Grobbelaar. Futcher under this one, under pressure from Rush. The ball comes through to Dalglish, and now for Wark, and a corner for Liverpool. Starting to pull out all the stops now, Liverpool. It'll be Steve Nicol with their corner. Dalglish close at hand. Here he is, Nicol. Neal. Dalglish.
It looks as if it's going to be all uphill for Barnsley now. Liverpool, I feel sure now, will just knock the ball about for the remainder of the game. Hopefully, if they can get another opportunity to kill the game off, to make sure people like Lawrenson and Hansen don't have any slip-ups at this end.
Again, but losing that time to Campbell, and a goal kick.
See the problem Barnsley have got, they've probably indoctrinated into playing in a particular manner, and I would think they find it very, very hard to change the pattern. Liverpool are still keeping the two strikers up, and yet Barnsley still have the four defenders occupying them, whereas you would have thought there's nothing to lose now, they've got to give it a thrash.
Agnew. Agnew again. Dalglish trying to get Rush on his way. Futcher's gone with him. And a free kick given to Liverpool.
I think that's
right on the edge.
Harsh decision that, Brian. I think Ian Rush had completely lost control and stumbled over himself there.
That's certainly an interesting angle. Dalglish and Kennedy and Whelan behind it, and MacDonald on the right.
Dalglish likes a pop from here though, doesn't he?
Could be a curling shot from Dalglish, but we're wrong again, and that wasn't quite what Liverpool intended, but it'll be their throw. Corner off Agnew. Quarter of an hour, the second half gone. Liverpool leading in this sixth round FA Cup tie by a goal to nil. Ian Rush the scorer. Here's Dalglish. And just wide again from Rush. Brilliant work by Dalglish. I thought for a moment the ball had gone out of play, but he somehow kept it in. Whipped in a wicked cross here. Good play by Dalglish. Just kept it in, as you can see. Flying header there by Rush, just wide of the post.
Well, if they say Rush's got a weakness, it's with his head. Ryan, I think you probably felt he should have put that one away. But as you say, some marvellous play from Dalglish there.
Free kick to Barnsley. Full Futcher with it. And they have pushed May forward. Ron Futcher. Wark. MacDonald. Rush. Kennedy. crowd wanted him to have a pop there, but it wasn't really possible, and it wasn't a very good ball to Campbell either, but Barnsley get the throw. So Winston Campbell with it. Now Billy Ronson looking for an angle and an extra yard. Picks one in there, and it came off Futcher. And now for Agnew. Played across there, and for a moment Liverpool were in a little bit of trouble. Would have been in deep trouble if Agnew's pass had found Futcher.
Yeah, I would have said that was their best chance, Brian. If the boy could have, if his first touch had been right, he'd rather lost control a little bit here. I think he'd been setting himself up for a shot at goal.
Comes the corner. Oh, my goodness, it just fell over Futcher's head, and Grobbelaar was struggling for a moment there. So it's a goal kick. May again winning it in the air. And Goodison. It came for Gordon, and it wasn't quite the pass that Barnsley wanted. Owen again, beaten in the air that time by Whelan. Whelan playing it forward, Larry May. Getting it where it was safe. Record signing, £100,000 from Leicester, Larry May. Whelan getting it in there. And May again getting it away. Neal trying to return it. Rush. Good play by Ronson, but not such a good pass. Owen keeps it in. MacDonald up, just nicking that through now for Whelan to make tracks towards that Barnsley goal. Here's Dalglish. A little bit of space there for Whelan, and more for Dalglish. And the little chip, and Rush was there, and Nicol's there, and Joyce is there. Campbell just wallops it away. Lawrenson's nicely controlled header. Here's MacDonald again now for Liverpool. Liverpool leading by 1-0. Ian Rush the scorer. Nicol going a long way, getting it towards Rush. But he was well policed there by Paul Futcher.
MacDonald's absolutely ran the game for them today. He's had all the time in the world, all the space in the world. He's used it very, very well. His passing's been top class, and he's just sat in the fielding gaps whenever Wark and Whelan have gone through.
Free kick to Barnsley. Maybe a fresh glimmer of hope. It's a fair way out with 20 minutes of the second half gone. Still just the 1 goal in it. Owen and Ronson over it. It's Owen with the little chip, Lawrenson with the header away. And in the end it squeezes clear to Dalglish. The touch by Futcher now for Goodison. Back again for Futcher. Ball to brother Ron, flicked on there towards Thomas, and Grobbelaar quickly out before Campbell could get there. Nicol. Bad little spell this for Barnsley. May, Goodison. Ronson. Again, Rush doing an awful lot of work, coming back and fighting for the ball, but that time conceding the free kick to Barnsley. Goodison will take it, right foot. Towards Futcher, beaten quite comfortably in the air by Hansen. Here's Paul Futcher. Now Joyce. Towards Grobbelaar. It's a good spell this for Barnsley, Ron.
It is, but I can't understand for the life of me. They've just had a free kick there. They're chasing the game. Their best header of the ball, Larry May, stays back. I would have thought now is the time to throw him in there and say, come on, let's toss a few balls up to him and let's see if we can scramble something out of them.
As it is, Wark takes possession now for Liverpool. And now Neal. Here's MacDonald. Agnew laying it on for Futcher. Now the break is on for Gordon Owen. He's got Kennedy coming back, still with Owen in there. Crossing there, touched away by Grobbelaar. Good break again by Barnsley.
Brilliant run by the lad there. One or two people may say he should have gone for the back stick or crossed it to the back stick. I don't really think he had a chance. I think that Kennedy was angling off to such an extent he had to just fire the thing in and see what happened.
So Gordon Owen, who made the corner, taking it. And it might come, and in the end, a missed kick there. Two missed kicks, but the whistle had gone. And a pat on the head by Larry May for Kevin MacDonald, who of course they played together at Leicester.
See, even that little bit of pressure, Brian, lifted the crowd a little bit, and I think that is so important now for Barnsley to get the crowd up, to get the tails right behind them.
Wark with a header. Dalglish. Free kick to Barnsley. Certainly a tremendous run there by Gordon Owen. Barnsley boy, as you can see, played for Sheffield Wednesday. He's on loan to Rotherham, Doncaster and Chesterfield, and had a good spell at Cardiff where he was their top scorer before coming back to his hometown. It was really a great run by him. Here's Dalglish though. Futcher. Free kick given to Barnsley, or to Liverpool rather. We're 25 minutes of the second half gone in this sixth round tie. Barnsley 0, Liverpool 1. Ian Rush the scorer. May, just the glancing touch. Ronson battling away like a little terrier again there, but he's got caught on the thigh, Willie Ronson, and he's struggling a little bit at just this moment.
Him and Thomas, they've run a million miles this afternoon, an awful lot of it chasing the game, chasing the ball. I noticed that Bobby Collins is warming up his sub now, Stuart Graham, who's another midfield player. I wonder whether in fact he's thinking of pulling off one of his defenders and trying to bolster up the midfield and push the left winger on.
Ron Futcher in a bit of trouble at the moment. Stuart Gray, of course, had a good spell at Nottingham Forest, and knows a bit about the big time. Once played in a World Club Championship for Forest.
To be fair, Brian, he looked as if when he first got in the Forest side he was going to be a very good player, didn't he? Came in and then he had a bad injury for a long while, didn't he?
And hasn't played now, in point of fact, for about in the first team for 15 months because of a bad back injury.
That's right. I remember them once they played him left full back against us. I think when Brian Clough sold Frankie Gray, he was toying with the idea of making him a permanent left back for him.
Well, here's Larry May for Barnsley. A bit too short that for Billy Ronson, and Rush. Poke back again. Well, it's there, and Whelan. Well, Ronnie Whelan gets the second, and what a bizarre goal that was. They looked as though they'd given it away, they looked as though they'd saved it, and then Barnsley gave it away again. Billy Ronson's back pass is what started it. Rush looked as though he'd taken it too wide. And now just look at this. Cannon back off Goodison, and as he stumbled, Ronnie Whelan put it into the back of the net.
Brian, if you don't win when that's going through, you'll never win a game, will you? I mean, the two goals have been really comic cuts goals.
Here's Owen again for Barnsley. And Lawrenson comfortably away. Joyce playing it in. And now Futcher! Oh! Right against Grobbelaar. There was a great chance of the equaliser there.
Brilliant goalkeeping though, Brian. Superb goalkeeping, but he should really have made it pay.
Ronson. Played towards Gwyn Thomas. And a corner for Barnsley. And a goal kick. A little flurry of excitement there, and the Futcher brothers well involved. And Futcher's shot, wrong Futcher that is, coming off Grobbelaar's legs. Brilliant piece of goalkeeping by Bruce. May have said that would have been the equaliser in the excitement, of course, forgetting that Ronnie Whelan had made it 2-0. Back it goes from Paul Futcher. Now MacDonald. Lawrenson. Neal. Wark. It's Joyce. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Agnew. Thomas. And Futcher get in this time. Oh, the two strikers there got in each other's ways. Ronson now with a poor ball that time. And I think Barnsley about to make their substitution. Stuart Gray coming on and Stephen Agnew coming off.
I think the second goal there, Brian, once again highlights Ian Rush's anticipation. Right, it was a very, very poor back pass of Billy Ronson's, but at least Rush is on his toes looking for the thing. I remember when I was manager of West Bromwich Albion, Tony Brown, who was an excellent goal scorer, always said, if you anticipate back passes, at some given time in the course of the game, you'll get yourself a chance.
Tough old challenge there by Joyce. I think we've got a couple of fellows also in our commentary team today who are a bit useful at that. Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves. It's just about their philosophy too. Well, it's Alan Kennedy with the free kick for Liverpool. Off Larry May's head. Stuart Gray. They've done is they've obviously popped Gray into the midfield, and they've encouraged Winston Campbell, now the number 11, to play out and out as a front man. Throw to Liverpool. This is May again for Barnsley. Again it was Rush who got in there that stopped the clearance being an effective one. Dalglish. Very quick with the challenge. Neal quick to pick up the loose one. It's Nicol again. Neal. And Gray, stopped by MacDonald. Liverpool unbeaten in their last 9 coming to this one, going through a really good spell at the moment. Look very much like stretching that to 10. Of course, only a fool counts his chickens in football, but I would think, Ron, that come the draw on Monday, you might want to avoid Liverpool in a semi-final.
Yeah, I think so. I think they might also want to avoid us, though, Grant, to be perfectly honest. I bet they really. I bet they can't realise what's happened to them today. I mean, they've hardly got out of second gear, and yet they're winning the game hands down through the courtesy of Barnsley in many ways.
Indeed. I mean, they'll be cursing themselves with the 2 goals, as you rightly say, Comic Cuts goals that they've given away.
Before the game, I bet they looked at this, and they're well steeped in all the big games and everything. They'll have looked at this game as a very awkward, tricky fixture. And I would imagine if you'd have said to Joe Fagan before the kick-off, will you take a draw and come back to Anfield on Wednesday, they're well settled for it.
Well, there's still about 12 minutes to go. Liverpool now with a cushion of a 2-goal lead. Rush and Whelan the scorers. MacDonald now coming through. And just pushed wide by Baker. MacDonald, who hasn't scored for Liverpool since he joined them from Leicester.
He deserves one today. For me, definitely he's been my man of the match.
And Baker just finger-tipping it round for another Liverpool corner, which Kenny Dalglish will take. 34 last Monday, and a goal kick. MacDonald, yet to score an FA Cup goal. He wasn't so far away from it, 24 years old. Wark. Now Nicol leaving it for Phil Neal. Dalglish, the touch for MacDonald. Here he is again. It's a good ball and played in nicely for Rush, and now for Dalglish, and now for Rush. You'll not find a better goal than that.
No, that was Liverpool at their best. Superb one-touch passing. They lit the ball at the end through the gap half with Ian Rush's 1-2. Brilliant. And a superb piece of finishing. He made it look dead easy at the end, didn't he? But to be perfectly honest, that is the mark of a master finisher.
Superb stuff.
He's lifted it over the keeper.
Look at that. Little flick out with the left foot. And the second one for Rush, the third for Liverpool. And 10 minutes remaining. Futcher up for Barnsley. In goes Owen. But it's a pretty forlorn task now. And MacDonald was right in at the start of that one as well, of course. Campbell. And Grobbelaar. Well, there's Rush again, Dalglish. Play on, a good advantage that time played by the referee. Dalglish finding MacDonald on the score sheet for the first time, perhaps? No, but playing it back and getting a corner. We talk so glowingly about Kevin MacDonald, and then people start talking about the new Graham Souness, or the influence that Souness has had. Is it going to be that sort of player? Just a moment, Ron. We'll see what Kenny Dalglish is going to do here first. There's MacDonald playing it back for him, but a little too firmly.
Yes, he's fitted into their pattern of play, the way Souness used to. I mean, to sort of start calling him the new Souness is a little bit much for anybody at the moment. But he holds his position well. His passing's good, and what's more important, he enables the other 3 midfield players to go off on forward runs. I mean, Wark is playing with a lot of freedom. Remember, before he came into the side, there was a lot of talk about Wark could possibly be out the side and could be leaving the club. Now, I mean, Wark just goes off on bombing raids every time they have it from the back, and has scored at any amount of goals. To be fair, he's also had an awful lot of space to play in this afternoon, but having said that, he's used it very, very well.
Yes, a masterful second half performance, but suddenly a mistake by Lawrenson, and Futcher is through. Grobbelaar was equal to it. That's almost a collector's item there. A total lack of concentration just for a moment by Mark Lawrenson. And very nearly a consolation goal for Barnsley. 3-0 down. Owen. Neal away. Paul Futcher. Ronnie Whelan leaving it to Nicol. Now with Wark, and now with Nicol. And a goal kick.
Yeah, the game's fun to play now for Liverpool, isn't it? They've got all the time in the world, all the space in the world. Everybody's bombing all over the place now, and they're going to enjoy these last few minutes.
Dalglish looking to get away, stumbled, got himself up, played a lovely ball in for Rush. His hat-trick!
He is absolutely unbelievable. Once again, look, the simplest of chances looked as if he couldn't miss, but that's the mark he is. He just takes them and makes it look all so easy. Great play by Dalglish.
Unbelievable finishing there by Ian Rush, the hat-trick man, and Liverpool now go 4-0 up. With 6 minutes remaining. Owen. So we've certainly in the hat-trick, Ron, had a contrast. We've had a simple tap-in really after a goalkeeping mistake. A magnificent move with a lot of one-time passing that Rush finished off superbly, and then just the blistering striker's finish for the third.
Yeah, that's right, all scored from what? Every one of them within the 6-yard box, I would think, and people will say, well, they're all tap-ins, but I think Greaves, you'll agree, the majority of the best strikers scored most of their goals in the 6-yard box.
And it looks as though they're not finished yet, as Wark takes the challenge from Ronson and gets the free kick for Liverpool. Dalglish, a deep one. Goodison away. And now Stuart Gray.
Even the amazing thing in this game, Brian, is possibly the two best chances of the second half have both fallen to Ron Futcher.
Goodison. But Barnsley, instead of being in the game, are right out of it, 4-0 down.
Yeah, they'll be glad for the final whistle to go now. There's no way back at all for them, obviously.
Which will go in a little over 4 minutes' time. May versus Rush. What an afternoon Rush has had. Neal. Nicol. Dalglish. There's the little chip. Ronson. MacDonald. I think for all of Rush's brilliance, MacDonald is still your man of the match, Ron, isn't he?
It seems strange that when a lad's got a hat-trick, but yep, he's done everything right. Yeah, I think Barnsley have now paid, Brian. We talked about it an awful lot during the first half, of pushing the tempo up and trying to put Liverpool under pressure. Instead, they've tried to match them in a passing sort of match, a game where, I suppose, for use of a better phrase, you'd say technical skills, and they've got murder really at the end of the day, simply and purely because they're playing a team that, when you play possession football, are the best.
Kennedy. Goodison. Owen. Stopped by Lawrenson. Might come for Futcher. Here's Owen. Did Barnsley get a consolation? Not this time, it seems. There's still a bit of work for Grobbelaar to do, which he does quite comfortably. Let me just tell you that we are hoping, before we go off the air tonight, to get a word with Ian Rush and hopefully Kevin MacDonald as well. 4-0 to Liverpool. And here in Yorkshire, the sun's beginning to come out, but not for the Yorkshire team. Campbell. Owen. And Ron Futcher clashing with Phil Neal and going down quite painfully. Wark. And they're full of running, Liverpool still. And here's Dalglish. And touched back that time by Paul Futcher to his keeper, Clive Baker. Tough old game in Vienna on Wednesday night, Ron, and they look absolutely full of running still, Liverpool, don't they?
Yes, well, I think they were allowed to play at their own pace. In the first half particularly, they didn't take too much out of themselves. And of course they had the great sort of uplift of those 2 goals, which probably even they couldn't have legislated for the way they came.
Paul Futcher. Owen. Good play by Neal. And just kept in by Rush, of course. There's Larry May. And Lawrenson carefully back. Talking earlier about Liverpool be pleased to avoid Manchester United, and you'll be pleased to avoid them. But in fact, the semi-finals are beginning to shape up with real quality teams in them all around.
Yes, that's right, Brian. I mean, when the draw was made, I think a lot of people were looking at Liverpool, Everton, ourselves, and maybe Luton or Watford. And one doesn't, you don't know what's going to happen at Ipswich. I mean, they did a great job yesterday. You don't know what's going to happen there, but it could certainly be. 3 of those teams could certainly be there.
Well, Dalglish and Liverpool have given us a quality second half here at Barnsley, leading 4-0. And plucked out of the air by Baker from Steve Nicol as the final whistle goes. And Liverpool are through to the semi-finals with Ian Rush, a brilliant hat-trick in the second half, Ronnie Whelan the other one. We hope to be having a word with Rush and with MacDonald